So I was working at this gas station, and one day the district supervisor came in, and she was real flirty with me. And I was picking up the vibes, and finally I just told her, "Oh, I'm married, and I am married to a man." Well, all of her bubbly giggling and smiling stopped real fast, and I could tell she was a homophobe. She didn't say another word to me after that, until one day after I emailed her a complaint. I basically asked her, what am I supposed to do when I'm working alone in the store and somebody comes in and threatens to push me because I asked them for an ID or because I can't break $100 bill? Both of those things really did happen. And I asked a few other questions and expressed a few other concerns. And she didn't message me back, so I just thought, they don't care. But then one day she comes into the store and she pulls me into the back room with my manager. And I was like, what's going on? And she's all like, how dare you email me like that? You sound like a whiny complainer. To which I replied, well, you sound like somebody who's invalidating my concerns. And you might want to address them before you start criticizing me like that, because I don't think you know who you're talking to. And she said, okay, so somebody threatened to pew-pew you because you couldn't break a $100 bill. Why couldn't you break a $100 bill? I was like, seriously? That's your response? And she asked, well, how come you couldn't break a $100 bill? And I said, well, because this store is at high risk for robbery. All our money gets dropped as soon as we get $100 in the register, and you don't have any tens in the safe. And she was all, well, why don't you have any tens in the safe? And I said, well, you tell me. You're the district supervisor. I assumed that was your rule. We've never had tens in the safe. But that wasn't my question. My question is, how do I alert anybody else in the store that I'm being robbed or that somebody is threatening me? Because clearly I'm not going to be able to call the police if somebody's pointing a pew-pew at me. And yeah, there was a kitchen worker in the back, but that person was not going to know what was happening at the register. They're too busy slaving their ass off in the kitchen for minimum wage to pay attention to what was going on up in the front of the store. Then this bitch tells me that I should push the buzzer to the kitchen. I said, what buzzer to the kitchen? There's no buzzer. Jumping at the chance to prove me wrong, we all went up to the register to look for this so-called buzzer that she was talking about. After some searching, I ended up finding a little doorbell up under the counter that nobody in the store knew about. Mind you, this store was already 3 years old. She said, I'm going back to the kitchen. Push that button and I'll tell you if I can hear it back then. So I did. She didn't hear any buzzing in the kitchen. Turns out the buzzer wasn't even connected to the kitchen. It was connected to an empty storage room. But this isn't my last time having to deal with this bitch.